Welcome, everyone, to this edition of Talented Universe. Sadly to say, we're having lots of technical issues. Taylor has got something's going on with her connection. I just saw that most of our Facebook links are not working. I tried to restart them. Hopefully, they're working. If you're having troubles with Facebook, please go to our YouTube stream. We would appreciate it. First, I'd like to introduce my co-hosts for today. Liz, how are you doing this fabulous day?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely wonderful and excited for the interview.
Marcia, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. October 1st, fall, let's go.
Let us go, yes. And Justin, we've tried that 4 times, just so you know. And Taylor, Karin, how are you doing with all the little problems we've been having?
I'm a mess. No, I'm good. It's a lovely day. The weather's perfect. I'm happy to be here with you guys. Technical issues aside, so thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you too. I'm going to go right in to Liz.
Oh, okay. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that you have been in several, and I believe this is back when you were still in college or maybe even later in high school, some of my favorite theater musicals. And that goes anywhere from a chorus line, all the way through to Our Town. But I have to ask you a particular question. You played Belle in
Beauty and the Beast.
yeah, thank you, Beauty and the Beast. And I have to ask, were you a big Disney fan growing up, or was this, something different, or you were so happy to be a Disney princess?
Yeah, it was chronic. Actually, oh my God, perfect. This is Halloween with my sisters. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
I wore the hell out of this dress. This was not just Halloween. This is Easter. This is Christmas. My parents got their money's worth on getting me that sateen, crunchy yellow dress. Absolutely obsessed. It was my favorite Disney movie. We destroyed the tape. Yeah, I was obsessed with the Disney princesses. It was a dream come true to get to do it. I love that you brought that up, because that was one of my favorite things I ever did, because it was children's theater outdoors and I got to interact with the kids, and it was really special. It was a very special time in my life. So thank you for asking me about that. I love that.
And moving on into something else, you were in a college production of a short that, for me personally, hit home in more ways than you possibly could know, because my family is all involved with Patriot Guard riders, where we escort the fallen, to their final resting place.
Mm-hmm.
And you played Elsa in Private Barry.
Yeah.
And just the first, you even talking about it, I'm kind of choking up a little bit, because you guys did that so well and with the storyline. And your responses back was you couldn't trust him, and for the reasons you couldn't trust him, but you still loved him. It was very obvious, and you portrayed that through so absolutely perfectly.
Thank you. That's I don't want to cut you off, but also the guy who played Private Barry, one of my closest friends.
I was I didn't mean to cut you off either, but I was gonna actually ask you about that regarding something else as far as what you two did together. But
yes, totally. But yeah, that was how we met, and it was actually I was the runner-up for that role. I wasn't gonna do it. They booked someone else, and then she booked something else, and she was unavailable, and so they called me, and I was like, whoa, it was understudy central. So I was like, oh my God. And I was so excited to get to do it, but it's how I met one of my best friends ever. And he and I've worked together since, and I just absolutely love him. So I loved working on that. That was really special and very, I really like what you said about I think that's kind of a universal thing. The situation was really heightened, but the lack of trust in a partner, but that deep knowing of like, oh, this love isn't going anywhere. Like, I can distrust you and I can be angry with you, but like that love is so real and it's penetrative and it's yeah, I really like that. I haven't thought about that in a long time. But yeah, that was a good one.
As a matter of fact, I believe that won for best ensemble.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, at the what was it, the Indie Fest in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so it was a really remarkable. Like I said, it hit home for me because I deal with something similar to what the notifications officer would do. We get
Yeah.
the other half of it. We'll meet sometimes the
Mm-hmm.
bodies at the plane with the families. Another thing. So it's a very emotional thing, and all of you, absolutely nailed what was going on.
Thanks.
But speaking of your certain little partner that we shall talk
Buddy.
about,
Yeah.
did you know when you first auditioned for A Good Cop, did you know that he was going to be in it with you, or was it just you guys found out, with Cast World?
So I had worked with that director prior on a short film that ended up streaming on a network. And because I'd worked with that director, my friend, he reached out to me and was like, "Did you like working with this guy?" It was a whole thing where I was supposed to move to Los Angeles years prior, but because of COVID and timing, I just didn't end up going. So I told my friend, I was like, I like really enjoyed the experience working with him. Definitely audition for this. Definitely, go for it. And then he was like, "There's also a part in here I think you'd be really good for." And I was like, "Oh, maybe I should read it." And I'd already missed the deadline to like apply, but I reached out to the director like I had his contact info and I was like, "Is it too late to audition for this?" And he was like, "I thought you were in LA." And I was like, "I was supposed to be, but I'm not." And he had me come into like a separate I taped for it and then he had me come into a separate day of callbacks because I wasn't there the day that they were actually doing callbacks. So I nearly missed the opportunity to do it. If it weren't for my friend saying, "Oh, he's doing this thing," I wouldn't have known about it and I wouldn't have gotten to do it. And that was one of the great experiences of my career so far. Like, it was really amazing to work on something for 4 months and just shoot and shoot and shoot. It was like a stamina test for sure, but really winding road that kind of got me there, and very much related to my buddy.
Well, speaking of your buddy with Ignacio, both you guys are doing verticals.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how did you were just talking about the drive and the grind. How did you find the drive and the grind, and how on earth did you get into verticals?
Yeah, so that was actually that was like the first foray. So it was that one actually was kind of lucky. It just sort of panned out. I'd auditioned with this company for another project of theirs that didn't end up panning out, but I got close. I was called back a couple times and I did a couple chemistry reads and that one just kind of didn't happen. So they actually just contacted me about Finding Master Right and directly. And I was actually on vacation with my family for my sister's birthday. So they were doing like chemistry reads and they're like, "Is there any way you can tune in?" And where we were, it was like 1 a.m. when chemistry reads started. But I was like, I don't know, I guess I'm fine. I'll just do it. And so I was up till like 3 a.m. doing some reads with actors in LA, which was kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, that kind of fell into place in a really easy way. So I wish I could say like there was a more interesting story there of like I really like fought. It was just like I stayed up a little later than I wanted to. I didn't go to bed as early as I'd hoped. But I remember reading with Jackson and just really enjoying working together, and he was excellent, and so that was really fun and energizing, and yeah, I mean, it's always a grind, but he made it feel really fun and easy.
Well, I do have some more questions also involving Finding Master Right, but I'm going to give it to Marcia for a minute.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to follow up a little on Finding Master Right because it was a really interesting juxtaposition to your role in A Good Cop.
Oh yeah.
as so
Yeah.
I found that very sort of opposite ends in a way, but not really.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny. Because they are very different people, but
Mm-hmm.
at their core they share some similar qualities, right? Like they sort of
Mm-hmm.
there's like a similar sort of they both like a challenge,
Yes.
and and they both have a sort of defiant streak. Um
Yes.
and there's a strength to both of them. There's an empowered sort of quality to both of them where they're a little unafraid to say what's on their mind, or be authentic, or show their heart. There's like a sort of openness and vulnerability to the both of them. And I think a lot of characters I've gotten to play, like there is this sort of like when I worked on A Good Cop, my makeup artist said that I was like a raw nerve, and I loved that. But just the idea that like that exposed sort of, it's all right there and it's touchy and
Mm-hmm.
sensitive. But I think Kate is the same. I think she's like sort of like very sensitive to the world around her, and it doesn't make her, but it doesn't make her weak. You know, like she's taking in all the information and the stimulus, and she lets it move her. And something I loved about her was that she wasn't like weak. Like
Yes.
she knows what she wants to some extent. She knows very clearly what she doesn't want. That's something that's really great about her, is that she's quick to identify, I don't want this. In moments of confusion, I think it's like, okay, do I want this person or do I want this idea? And but I liked the script so much because she felt deeply human, and like a woman that I would know as a friend. You know, she's sensitive, but she's not a pushover. Like
Mm-hmm.
she has a good head on her shoulders, and she's smart, and she like knows what she likes. Even if the whole arc is him trying to help her identify her own desires, she has a good internal like radar of, oh, actually this is good versus this is bad. And I loved that the contingency of the whole arrangement is that it is about her identifying what's good, what feels good, what makes her feel good. um, and none of it ever feels like, I don't know, abusive or unkind, or like it's all very
Exactly.
consensual and very empowering. um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think they both have good radars for uh yeah, they're both a little defiant, and they both like a challenge, but they have good radars for what is good and what is bad, even if they're sort of figuring out their ways. Yeah.
Yeah, because in the beginning of A Good Cop, when your boyfriend sort of leaves you, and
Yeah.
you're and he comes back a couple of days later and is like, okay, you've been
Yeah.
home all this time, and I wanted to say hello.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, precisely. Oh my gosh. Wow, it's been a while since I thought about this. That's crazy. But yeah, like you know what's funny? I think that a lot of people like Elizabeth, like Kate, like other characters, that like myself, like people misinterpret like that emotion as a certain weakness. And I think
Weakness.
having access to emotions is very brave and very strong, and like shows that you are in tune with the world around you, that you're paying attention.
Mhm.
um, and it shows a certain level of intelligence, it shows a certain level of acceptance. But yeah, I liked playing both of them. They are different. I mean, they're in very different situations. I don't
Yes.
know that Elizabeth would end up in Kate's situation, but but they both have really good hearts and are just trying to figure out where they fit in these
Mhm.
different, very different communities. But they do want to find their place, and they don't want to
Mhm.
abandon themselves to do it. And I think that that's a really nice thing about the both of
Yeah.
them.
Well, Elizabeth could go undercover as Kate.
That's a whole different show.
That's a whole different show.
Your people will call my people.
And I also see Belle in that mix of strong
Yeah.
women, because Belle is thrust in this this place where she's has to make choices, and she
Yeah.
wants to so I see them similarly, so I
Yeah.
can see why you were attracted to Belle and these other roles, which,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
uh,
there's something about Kate that feels very I love that we're talking about theater too, because Kate, when I like approached her, I was like, this is very Taming of the Shrew. This is
Mhm.
very Shakespearean. This is very Beatrice and Much Ado About Nothing. This is very she is super smart. She can spar with anyone. She knows what she wants. And then she kind of doesn't know what she wants. And that really throws her because she's smart,
mm,
because she can spar, because like it's a whole new world that she's being Disney that she's being thrown into, and all of these women are smart, capable, strong people being put in different worlds and learning to adapt and learning where they can fit in without abandoning their values and their desires. They're all like heart-led people, and all Disney, I mean all Disney princesses, Disney
mhm.
characters are heart-led, like
Yeah.
just want good and love and support and acceptance and community. Like I think a lot of them, they feel the same.
Hmm. And I'm gonna put another character in there that you played in a short Apocalypta.
Oh, what a
Mhm.
deep damn cut. Sorry, excuse me. um I forgot about that. Go on.
Because she also knows kind of what she wants, sort of. I love the big spider, by the way. That was great.
Oh my God, you are blowing my mind right now. Some of these are things I completely forgot about. Please go on. That's crazy. Yeah, that was wild. That was a long time
And
ago.
with the whole can of Chef Boyardee that she
Yeah,
insisted she was gonna take it, and
this is crazy. This is like, yeah, that's insane. Apocalypto was a crazy one. That one was kind of interesting and fun because it was a change of type for me because my hair was super short at the time. I cut all my hair off, and so
I
I
was
was getting
wondering
like,
whether that was your.
yeah, it was. I had a Winona Ryder period in a pretty big way. And so I just like cut off all my hair and was like, I'm new, I'm different. And
Mhm.
it didn't really reinvent me in the way I'd hoped. But that's a crazy one. I have not thought about that in a really long time, but that was crazy. That was really interesting and fun to do that too, because it was sort of a different, she's sort of like tomboyish and not traumatized. I mean, she is traumatized. She's living
Yeah.
in the world, but
Mm.
that was a long, long time. Oh God, I hate to say it. I think that might have been like close to 10 years
It
ago.
was. It was. It says 2019, I believe.
We
Yeah.
filmed it almost definitely in 2018, almost definitely. So,
2018.
I mean, it's
Okay.
getting close. It's getting dangerously close.
Now, was that filmed in LA or New York or
No, that was you know what? That was in Boston because I went to Emerson
Boston?
College. So that was out in Boston. Yeah.
Okay.
Mass Hall. Big time.
And so coming up to where you are now, and Liz mentioned of course, the vertical. What was your friend's reaction to this particular role of finding Master Right? Was that did you tell your friends or?
You know what's funny is like I have this joke with my friends that's like uh, basically it's like I'm not a prude, but I act like one. And and it was so funny to get to do this specific. I told my friends not to watch. I was like, I can't let you see me like that because I don't, because I have friends who are like, I want to watch it, and I specifically was like, I can't let you see me like that. And because it's so weird, but it's like I would rather have a million strangers than like my like sister watch it. Like I'm like let them, that's fine, they can have opinions about it and watch it and enjoy it, and that's all well and good.
Mhm.
But like my people that I have to go get lunch with, I'm like, please, like I can't let you see me moan.
You have
It's
almost the
not meant
exact
for you.
same response as Dakota Johnson did.
Oh,
You
really?
know, yeah, I
And
mean,
Oh,
50
almost exactly.
Shades.
Yes, he's like, no, I don't. I've banned my parents from seeing it. They will not see it. My younger
yeah,
brothers and sisters will not see it. Of course,
that's
they all did,
yes.
but yeah.
My friends have been nothing but supportive. They're always supportive. They always want to watch the things I do. They always, I'm really lucky because I do have a community of friends who just like love the hell out of me, and I love them, and I get to share with them and get to feel that can be really hard to find, I think, especially in like performing arts communities, because people say it's really competitive. It isn't. It's not. I mean, I think it's not competitive by the nature of like, when you're making an apple pie, you go to the store and you have like the recipe for apple pie. And then someone's like, oh, like try this grape. It's the best grape of all time. And you taste it. You're like, that's an amazing grape, but I'm making an apple pie, so I don't need the apple pie. That's like what acting is like. You can be the best grape in the world, but if they're making an apple pie, it doesn't really. So in that way, it's not competitive at all. But sometimes in communities of artists and makers, things can feel, you get that false sense of competition. I've gotten really lucky, and I've found makers and community members who we all want each other to win. And
Yeah.
so all of my friends really like believe in me and want to watch and support the things I do. It's funny you said what you said about Dakota Johnson, obviously, because she did the 50
50 Shades
Shades
Grey,
sort of,
yeah.
yeah, which was definitely a reference for this. And she's sort of like a lot of actors have like characters that actors that they sort of resemble, or they play parts similar to them. She's probably one of mine that I love her work, and I think I honestly, like, I think she's brilliant. Her production company, they pick incredible things to do. Splitsville was the best movie I've seen. That was also very Shakespearean comedy, super funny. Cha-Cha Real Smooth. She does really excellent work. Super smart businesswoman, also very empowered, very like intelligent. But I can't I'm getting off the subject, but I cannot let my friends watch me do things like so intimate. It's just not, I can't live with it. Cause if my friend comes to like have dinner and I know that I'm like, oh, you just got to the episode where he sponges me down in the bathtub, I'm not having dinner with you. We're not, we're not doing this. I can't do this. But yeah, I love them, and they're so supportive. So they were nothing but wanting to watch and support. I just sort of said that can't happen.
Yes. Question for you. Now, as a female artist, and you've already
Yes.
said you're a very strong character, a person like your characters.
Yeah.
What would you tell other women on scene or on set to not make where they are, unfortunately, acting still tends to be a man's world? What
Yeah.
would you tell them? What's best? Should you agree with, not agree with them? Just totally do what you believe?
You know what? I really love this. It's so interesting because there's people talk about politics. There's politics in any workplace, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't necessarily prescribe to the idea that the film industry is that much different than any other industry that you work in. I think like my dad calls it uphill sledding. He uses this phrase uphill sledding. Like, in any sort of industry, sometimes being a woman means you're uphill sledding. There's different sort of ideas that people have about how women should behave and how they should not behave. The way I see it, if you're smart and you're prepared and you know your words, that's kind of the contingency. I wouldn't make this specifically advice for women, but I do think it's important. Like, know your words, be prepared, and be willing to back your SHIT up. Like, be willing to stand for, because if you're prepared, no one can tell you anything. It's like, I think it's amazing to be amenable and flexible and take notes, because that's the play. That's the play element. Like, that's the fun of what we get to do, is like, take your notes. They tell you, we want you to do the scene more like you're like pleading with him. That's the fun, like, is playing together. Take notes, be fun, have fun, be yourself. But know your stuff, and don't be afraid to back it up. And obviously, there's always an element of ego in any workplace, reading the room in any workplace. Like, I wouldn't want it to become a whole prescriptive, like, like, always have your opinion and never back down. Like, just approach it like anything, where it's like you've done your research, you know your stuff, you have your opinion, you're willing to talk about it. Be brave, be yourself. But also, you know, the beauty of what we do is that it's collaborative. So other people have different ideas. Sometimes someone you're working with, like the director, it's like they're kind of the president. So like, and to a certain level, it's like, okay, like they're steering the ship. I kind of gotta. Jackson actually had a phrase that I've adopted on set, where sometimes someone would give him a note and he'd go, and you could tell he's thinking about it, and he'd go, yeah, I just work here. So, and then he'd just do it. And I loved that, you know, you fight for your thing because you think it's right. You get your one take in doing it the way you like to do it. But then it's like, you know, when to just say like, you know, I'm here because they want me here, and I want to give them what they want to. I would be anxious to say anything that's like, I think the big thing is you need to be prepared to advocate for yourself. That's specifically gendered. I think, especially with something like the subject matter we worked with on
Right.
Master Rate, is like, if you feel uncomfortable, you have to get deeply comfortable within yourself being willing to say no. The beauty of this project is that BDS, that whole community is all about consent. So I fortunately worked with an amazing production team that wanted me to say no if I felt it. You're not always going to be in spaces like that, but if you feel confident saying no, no one can say anything to you. So you have to be comfortable taking space. You have to be comfortable saying, I'm not willing to do it. And if someone's like, oh, well, she said no to this and like, blah, 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 they're not your person. They're not your community. We are in a time now where it is easier to connect with people than it's ever been, to find your community, to make your own projects. Just do your thing. If your heart, you know your heart. If your heart is good, I've been talking for 18 minutes. If your heart is in the right place, and you know that what you're saying is not to the detriment of anyone, that you're just trying to stand up for yourself and demand what you deserve, no one can say anything to you, you know, like feel confident in that. But you got to back it up by being prepared. You have to know your stuff. Everyone does.
Oh, I would definitely agree. And I'm glad that you answered it the way you did, because that question was primarily focused regarding finding Master Right, but also so many other genres that multiple women are in, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to switch gears just slightly, because you got to perform at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and that is literally the largest worldwide festival for the arts. How did you get it?
Well, okay, so that was a high school. So they do like a high school department, like where they have high schoolers from select schools perform.
Right.
So that was like my first foray into that world. I was in high school and our high school was selected to go. And so we went. I really want to go back as an adult. I'm like dying to go back. I'm dying to do like a one-woman show, because clearly, as I'm showing you guys, I can talk to myself for probably 4 hours. But that was really fun, because that was maybe the first time it clicked in my head. Oh, I think I would really like to do this. I kind of knew as a young person that I wanted to perform, but I didn't really know you could. And that was the first time that I thought, oh, wait, there's like all this stuff happening around me, and this is all these people do. And there was like oh man, I just remember it being like, that was a really wild experience. The play we did was arguably not great. It was a high school show. It was a high school show.
Yeah.
But I remember at one point, I got a compliment from another high school, like a group of high schoolers from. You would all go see each other's high school shows. If you were selected, you would like support each other's shows. So the other high school came to see our show, and I remember like someone gave me a compliment, and I didn't really get a ton of compliments. Like that was kind of new for me, and I felt like sort of a late bloomer and kind of awkward, and there wasn't much I had any confidence in at that time. I was pretty insecure, and it was the first time that I thought, oh wait, actually, like this is the thing I'm good at, and it changed my life. I was like, oh my God, someone just validated something that now is enabling me to see something that I think I could do for myself, and I think I like about myself. When you're a kid and you're insecure, and a lot of actors have that kind of story, right? It's like they're kind of insecure kids trying to find their place, and this gives them a place. It was really life-changing for me to hear people go, "Oh, you're good at that." Even though arguably at that time I wasn't. I was
You developed
not
into
that
it, but yeah.
bad. I was a high schooler in a bad play. But it was really like it cracked open my whole world. It changed my life. So you guys are bringing up stuff I haven't thought about in so long, and I feel like when I log out of this, I'm just gonna like go like I'm just gonna start crying.
Oh, well, one of the reasons I had brought it up is my daughter also went to a performing arts high school,
Yeah.
and we were sending her like to Boston and stuff for some of the
Yes.
education and classes and acting there. And I had heard about the Edinburgh Festival. I'm like, oh, I wish we could do that, but
You have to.
the parents weren't at that time willing to. Okay, we're already funding this one, and we're
Right.
funding that
Right.
one, and
Right.
I was sitting, on the parents' association board to begin with. So it was like, what do we approve? What do we not?
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
um, I discovered something in one of your acting reels. I think it was 2019. And I
Okay.
have to ask you this question.
Okay.
Your intro to it, just your intro picture between each one of the scenes you did, is
I'm
that
trying to remember.
a rip off of Lady Gaga's wedding in Star is Born?
Wait, no, I don't even know. I don't even know. Unfortunately, like I don't even remember this reel. I have a lot of like I'll do a lot of reels like
Yeah.
just in summation of like a year. And it's so funny. I think I just recently re-saw one from like 2022 or something, but I don't think I know. I'm gonna say certainly not because I don't even know what you just mentioned, the Lady Gaga thing. But
Because in A Star is Born, when she's getting married, and I'm going to assume you've seen the movie, correct?
I've never seen it.
Oh, okay. Well, that really makes sense then.
Every
Because
time I pull it up, I'm like, this is really long, and then I end up watching like a cartoon.
but no, one of the close shots is her where she's getting married. She's got her hair pulled back with a flower that's the same flower in this video, close up on her eyes, and she's crying.
I remember
You
this.
have the exact same clip that breaks between certain reels in the 2019 reel.
You are blowing my damn mind. I remember this now. You just brought that up for me. You know what? That's just so funny. I think I produced the shoot that clip was from, and I think when we got that footage back, I was like, I'll be taking that, and I was like, I don't know where I'm gonna put it, and then eventually I was like, I'll just put it in my reel. But no, that's so funny. I've never seen A Star Is Born, which is funny because everyone says I need to because
You should.
yeah, I know. Oh shoot. Maybe I'll do it tonight. No, I can't do it.
I've seen all four of them, and five if you count the one that was done in India with Bollywood.
Bollywood. I don't know.
Yeah, Bollywood does all of the. The one from Bollywood is Ashanti.
Oh, okay. You're teaching me so much.
My basically adopted little brother was from Jakarta, India.
Yeah.
And I was already into a lot of foreign films and even
Yeah.
indie films from India.
Yeah.
And he said, you got to see this one because he knew I was into A Star is Born from the old originals, 30s and 40s.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I watched that one and it blew me away almost as much as this one, the current one, did with A Star is Born.
Yeah.
Lady
Yeah.
Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
So now, and one quick question, I'm going to hand it back to Marsha. You have done several psychological thrillers.
Mm-hmm.
This is driving me crazy. You have one that I've only seen clips of, and I need to know, is it going to be released or did I miss it somewhere?
Ooh, which
And
one?
that is down in New Orleans. I need to find
wait,
out
Crazy
what happened.
Bananagrams. Okay. I don't actually know. I think that they're trying to do festival circuit on that guy. I only recently got like a screener. But realistically, yeah, all I have of that. are like a clip here and there.
Probably the ones I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. We probably like, but no, I think that their aim for that was festival circuit, which is it's a pretty long. It's almost pilot length, which it would totally work as a sort of. There's a sort of I don't know if you're familiar with the Netflix series You, but there's
Yes.
sort of that element to it. That one was really fun to do, and those girls were super super talented. But I got to work with some really, really nice people. That was one of the first things I did really out here. I only moved to LA, at the very beginning of 2023, and I tried to just hit the ground running. So I was just trying to do as much of everything as I could. But that one was really, really fun. And really, I just like the community of people. But that one's definitely true uh, psychological thriller. Like this girl gets played with in a pretty massive way. So being on set, while it was fun, there was that element of, ooh, it feels kind of heavy. Like there'd be heavy days where you're just like, okay, this is the day where this horrible thing is happening. Like someone just dropped an emotional bomb on this girl every 3 pages. And so that would feel heavy sometimes. But I think that that's going the festival route. I think I should check in about that. You're reminding me to send some emails.
Oh, I need to check in to see if it's floating around at any of the festivals close to us. So definitely go see it because I mean we know what happened to Kennedy, but I want to find out what happened to what caused Kennedy to do what happened.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
So.
It's a really interesting journey for sure, and they did a great job. So I'm
Anyway, if I don't get a chance to talk to you again, I do want to say I absolutely appreciate you coming on. This has been so fun. Literally, it's like it's been great. So I do
even with my
appreciate you.
technical issues.
Oh, you know what? It's kind of
It's
cleared up.
Oh,
Really.
that's
Yeah.
so great. Oh,
Yeah.
I knew it would. I knew it would. Sometimes, I think sometimes just my building, like maybe if a few of us, I have a couple other like neighbors who are all work from home. So sometimes if you're all really trying to do something at the same time, it gets a little bit tough. But
Bandwidth,
I'm
yeah.
glad it cleared up.
Yeah. So, Marcia, I'm going to throw it to you.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Speaking of things, projects of yours that I would like to have seen all of, but I only got to see a clip,
Yeah.
was a Sex Date. Where
That one's currently on the festival circuit. I will absolutely. Remind me. Where are you guys? Are you not allowed to say where you're located? I can wait.
We're all over the
oh
place.
no, that's fine. I'm in Florida. I'm in Northeast
Okay.
Florida. Jacksonville.
Okay, Florida. Okay, Sex Days.
I'm-
I will let you know if it comes towards Florida because I
Okay,
think
that'd be great.
there's some good fests in Florida. But we played in Cleveland. We played in Louisiana. I think we just played in Reno.
Yeah, I
but
missed it when it was up there. 'Cause I'm
that
from
one's really
Sacramento.
fun, and that one's really funny too. That one was fun. It was fun to do something funny. Like I've done a
It
lot
looks funny. I
It
really want to
is?
see it.
Oh my God, it's hysterical. I loved working with Tyler. That one was kind of funny because I'm Taylor, he's Tyler, and so sometimes people would say one of our names, and we both like it was almost like Shakespearean twins. It's like we're just so similar. But that one was really funny. I'll keep you updated if I hear that we're
Oh,
going to
that would be
Florida.
great.
I'll shoot you the info because that one's a blast. That one's a blast and a half, and it's really cute.
Hmm. And I also wanted to talk some more about your singing. Your voice is beautiful.
Thank you.
And and I saw you did a lot of stuff during the shut-in time and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and your Somewhere Over the Rainbow and whose idea was doing those side by side scenes?
So that was me scratching an itch in my brain. Something that I really love is specificity. I love when you see things that are so close that you're like, oh damn, that's really like I love something that feels precise and well rehearsed. It just scratches an itch in my brain. And we had all this time, and there was a regional theater that I'd worked with was doing these remote cabarets. And I loved that idea. And I was like, what's something that I could do that like takes advantage of the fact that this is video? And I was like, oh, I could do Somewhere Over the Rainbow and I could like recreate it. And then I was like, well, if I recreate it really specifically, then no one's going to know how close it is unless I put it next to it. And then I got to put it next to it, and I was like, oh, I need to get it closer. So I watched that for days religiously, and was like down to when she moves her head or moves her arms. I remember I was in my current ex-boyfriend, but now my very close friend, his basement. And I was like, I need a stuffed animal dog. Your sister's gonna have to hold up the dog. Like it was so silly, but it really gave me like, that was such an obviously kind of tragic time, and it was filled with so much pain and stress and fear. There was a lot of fear, very real fear, and my family and community wasn't immune to it. Like, but I think that one of the things that really gave me joy was reconnecting with the things that gave me joy and letting myself, there's something that happens when you're alone where you kind of let yourself be silly and stupid in a way that you might not be silly and stupid in front of all these other people. But it was kind of nice to have that time to myself and reconnect with like, what makes me silly and stupid? And what if that is the best part of me? And what if that's like the best thing that I can share? And it was just fun. It was just, I don't know, it gave me peace, I think, in a really hard time, was just making whatever I could. I love doing that. Actually, that's my mom's favorite thing, like ever. She brings that up a lot, and she always wants to like show her coworkers that, which is funny because I'm like, Mom, I've done like actually like, I'm like, Mom, I did like a TV show. Could you show them the show? Like, don't show them the video I did in my ex-boyfriend's basement. Show them something cool. But I also, obviously, Judy Garland was like, I wanted to be her. Watching that movie as a kid, I was like, if they ever make another one of these, like, I need to do that. Like, I was so obsessed with her, and she was like a hero. Like, just, so getting to do it kind of, it scratched an itch and it gave me peace and joy in a really, really hard time.
And you matched the color of the scene, the sienna, and because that's something that a lot of us have watched dozens of times. So I was looking, I was like, okay, is she gonna do this? Is she gonna move this? And you're scratching the little dog.
Stupid. It was really dumb, but it was really fun, and it was I'm glad that you like that. I'm always glad when people like that stuff. I that makes me really happy.
So for you, being on stage, obviously a lot. What about being in the audience and watching stage? What are some of the joyful moments that you have seen as an audience member?
I really love that question. Actually, I have a really good answer. My friend Curtis, that I met doing a chorus line, we both stood next to each other in the line, and God bless him, because he's a proper dancer. Like he is a professional dancer, and he is so beautiful, and the way he moves his body is so aspirational. I could barely stay on my damn line. Like I had a mark, and I'd sometimes look down in the middle of the show and I'd go, oh, I'm off it by about 3 feet. And he was such a hero, like just dealt with the whole thing. But I met him doing the show, and I just recently, he came to LA. He lives in New York. He came to LA for a performance with the Camilla A. Brown dancers doing their newer show, I Am, which is a dance show with live music. I have not felt so moved by a piece of theater art in maybe years. Like I genuinely, they encourage you. One of the beautiful things about it is they encourage you to vocalize in response if you want to. Like if someone is really hitting a step and it's really good, everyone can join. It creates this sort of like chorus of joy, which is like, how often do you get to go to a show and go like, oh, like it's how often does that happen? Like, but it was so like, one of my favorite things about theater, good art, is the idea that when we're in this space together, we're all sharing breath.
Yes.
Like that's what we have is air. The air, and it's connecting, and energy in a room. It's sort of like, that's a beautiful thing, to be in a space with people and connect with them. And this was one of the absolute like pinnacle experiences of like, let's all just share this in whatever way we want to. And it was not precious, but beautiful and precise. And everyone was so fully embodied and they expressed in completely different ways. I will say Curtis was the standout, was like, honestly for me, I was like, you didn't tell me you had the best number in the whole show. It was so good. But I had chills the whole time. I cried, I laughed my ass. It was, and like, not like, there's no like words. It's like dance. It's all dance. And so amazing to be moved like that when it's not like, oh, that beautiful piece of dialogue at the very beginning. It's like, no, I just watched you move your body, and what a gift to be able to move your body. You know, like,
Yes.
oh, it was beautiful. I'm so glad I got to talk about that, because I've been dying to talk about. I saw like a dress rehearsal, and he was like, "Oh my God, there were so many mistakes," and I was like, "I'm gonna kill you!" Like, that was the best thing I've ever
Don't
seen in my
even.
life. It was so good. So I recommend, if anyone, I know, I think they're performing around New York pretty soon, and it's a recurring performance. It's just when they book a show, they do it. So if it ever floats around near you guys, I really recommend you. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we are going to wind up, and I'm
Yeah.
join Liz and Michael, and thank you so much for a beautiful experience.
Oh,
I've
thank you
enjoyed
for
it so
having me.
much.
I love to chat. I love to be silly with people. And I really, truly, truly, I feel so grateful that you guys like looked at the stuff that I did, because sometimes the stuff you do feels like it's in a vacuum and it goes away forever and you don't get to share it after a certain point. So getting to do this sort of reminiscent, like walk down memory lane and feel really held by you guys, like that was a real gift. You guys gave me something like really, really special, and I feel really appreciative. So thank you for that.
Yay. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, and you know, I didn't say much, but I enjoyed listening to your reminiscing of all the stuff that you had done. Only thing I wanted to add was when you did your first vertical, and the people gave you the funniest look, like, "What the heck are you talking about?" How did you explain it to them?
Wait, repeat the last part one more time.
How did you explain it to them
Yeah.
about what a vertical is?
What a vertical is, or what this vertical was?
Well, no, just in general, because if you went and said, "Oh yeah, I just did a vertical drama," and they go, "A what?"
Yep. Right. So, okay. So, like, for example, my dad, I was talking to my dad. My dad only watches true crime. So, thank God he was never going to see this. It's true crime, and he used to love Gilmore Girls. So, he wasn't going to see this one. So, but when I explain it to people, I say it's basically soap opera that you can watch on your phone. It's installments. You can pick it up and you can put it down and you can revisit it, and it's just bite-sized soap. And there's something so exciting about that as an actor, because the beauty of soap is that it's like an actor's like gym. It's like you're taking this scenario that is really escalated, really heightened, and that maybe wouldn't happen exactly the way it does in the real world, but you have to ground it in something that feels deeply embodied, truly felt, and honest, still honest, because it doesn't work if it feels like there's a face being put on it, right? Like, you have to believe Kate is really in love with Banner, or else it doesn't work. You can't, if you cannot buy into the central conceit, it doesn't serve the purpose of anything. So when I explain it, I just go, it's soap. It's heightened scenarios with talented people who are just bringing these sort of exciting situations to life. And then the ease of it is it's right on your phone. You can watch it, here and there. You can put one episode down after, like, you go to the bathroom and you watch like 2 episodes, and then like it's easy enough to just jump back in later. And each one ends with like a nice little hook that makes you want to stay involved and continue watching the story unfold. But yeah, that's what I mean for me. But that's also the soap thing, is because that's an actor process thing, right? It's like when you watch for soap opera, it is like drama and betrayal and love, and how do you make that feel honest? And it's a great challenge. It's like, and it's a great responsibility, but it's so fun to get to do it. You know, it's just play.
Yeah, it's play, and they really get you hooked.
Yeah, they sure do. I mean, like there is like a really addictive quality to it. There is something in these little 2-minute things where you're like, I have to know what happens
I
next.
have to know. I have to know.
Yep.
And I don't know what it is, but they just do. They're smart about it. I mean, like, but it really is like a shorter form, like you know, if you see like a Days of Our Lives, it feels like that, where there's a lot of twists and turns, and there's good guys and bad guys, and you don't know exactly who they are until you keep going, and then even the bad guys have good moments, or the good guys have bad moments. It's a big winding road adventure, and the beauty of this one was that you get a little kind of funny, ties into the consent thing. I really liked that audience members often had the chance to say yes or no to certain things. If they didn't want to watch a scene with, you know, with her, you know, if the option is you can either let him put this collar on or not, you get to say yes or no. And I actually kind of thought that's kind of meta and interesting, that consent is a fundamental part of even watching this, that people get to decide what they would like. And I think that really matters, especially, you know, I think female desire is sort of a new thing in media. Like we're kind of exploring it in a really different way now. But that also feels like a big part of Vertical, is like the female gaze feels really present. And what I loved about doing this one specifically was that it was all about Kate's experience, desire, and consent. And that even as we're presenting it to people, they get to experience it, they get to experience that desire, and they get to consent to whatever road they want, whatever they would like to explore. I just think that that's such a special thing. So that's also part of Verticals that I think it's really fun and really like built into the experience of like, what would you like to see? What would make you feel good, excited? Yeah, it's a fun format.
Well, that's a great explanation, and a little longer than I expected, but
Yeah,
hey,
it only took me
that
18
does
minutes,
not
but-
matter. That does not matter. But on that little Vertical note, yeah, I'd like to thank you so much, Taylor, for coming.
Yes.
And if you'd like to come back and talk about some new stuff that you've got coming up, we would love to have you back.
Oh my gosh, I would love to. Reach out anytime. I always have stuff cooking that I'm excited about, and I would absolutely love to chat in the future. Just let me know whenever. I
will let you know. But for all of our guests, we're going to take about a week's break from stuff. We have done so many things in the last 2 weeks. We all need a little breather. So
Amen.
We will see you at the end of next week. So, and we'll have some other stuff scheduled. So everyone take care, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Taylor. Bye.
Bye.